Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that he's done as far as it being like him going back to Toronto and then, you know, just sitting at his mom's house or something like that. I don't think it's like that. But what I do think is why the Drake era is over is because Drake's been giving us playlists for the past, what, like 10 years maybe? After Nothing Was the Same, we just been getting playlists. And not albums, cinematic albums. And I think that things are switching to Kendrick's side because he's been giving us these big, like, cinematic albums since the beginning, from Good Kid, Mad City all the way to GNX. It's always been these really well-crafted, well-thought-out projects. Same thing with J. Cole. Since he did the Cylon story, all the way to now we're getting to the Fall Off, these albums have been nothing but cinematic. And then if you listen to The Weeknd's new album with Hurry Up and Come Tomorrow, I believe it's called, something like that. Extremely cinematic album. He even made like a movie trailer to come with it. It's just like this level of care and this level of thought that's going into this is what makes something stick more. Of course, there has to be money put into it and it has to be marketed and all that, but I feel like for the longest, we would just be getting playlists and playlists. Like, an artist makes a bunch of songs, then squeezes them down, you know, until 15 songs, 17 songs, and then puts it on an album with a title and a picture, and then here you go. I don't think that's gonna work anymore. Unless you're like a person that's like Drake and then you can make hits. But going forward, I don't think that's gonna work. I think people want to hear what we heard back in the early 2000s and in the 90s, where we were getting like cinematic albums with a story, a concept, a whole idea behind it, and not just here's like a list of the best songs I've created in the past month or past year or whatever. So, and I think that's a big reason why Lil Baby's album isn't doing that well. I mean, it's doing well as far as numbers wise, but I'm talking about as far as it's sticking and people being like, yeah, this is something that I'll come back to and re-listen to it. Like, there's no like idea to Wham that's like, this is something that's bigger than just a playlist of the songs he thought were the best he could do. There's no cohesive thought of what this represents or what time period he was in while he was making this project. Like, he could have talked about his mental health state at the time. He's worried about going to jail for this RICO case. Relationships that he's fell out with and he's dealing with. All types of different things could have been discussed, and then wrapping it up with visuals to kind of bring us into that space of where he was thinking. None of that was there for the project, and I think that hurts someone like Lil Baby because I'm a big fan of his music, but like, I feel like you're not gonna grow if you're not thinking about what you can do to expand your brand versus just doing the same thing you've been doing. I feel like he's not really trying that hard as far as doing something different. Like every time we get a Kanye album, he gives us a whole vision of what he's trying to accomplish or what he's trying to convey. We get fashion with it. We get these visuals that match with it. We get even him walking around in his real life, like it matches the feel of that album at the time. It's more than just the music. It's a whole like brand. It's a whole era. And that hasn't been happening lately with artists. They just put a playlist out, and that doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it anymore. So that's why I think like why Kendrick's on top right now, and why everything's changed in the Drake era is over, because things have gotten stale. Everybody's putting out playlists and no one's putting out art except for the select few that I mentioned, like Kendrick, Cole, The Weeknd. I think that's about it. Everybody else isn't doing anything. I'm sure there is. Tyler the Creator. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, these guys are putting out art. Everybody else is putting out a playlist. That's all I want to say today, guys. I was just looking at hip-hop today, and I was just wondering, like, yo, why is it so stale? And then, thinking about, like, what's my opinion on why I think it got stale, why it got so... versus how it used to be when, around 2009, 2013, it was like really exciting, but now it's just not. But I don't know. You guys tell me your thoughts below. What do you think is going on? And what do you think you want to see to make it exciting again? I think it is getting back to that point now that Kendrick's on top. People are rapping again. The competition's back into it. But yeah, now it's just about how we can push each other to push the culture forward. So what do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.